Hi, my name is John Pierce. I'm the head basketball coach at Franklin Road Academy in Nashville, Tennessee, and I want to talk to you just for a couple of minutes about a couple of things that we focus on at FRA with our basketball program. If someone were to ask me what our main points of emphasis are, I would say it's really two things. One, we want to give maximum effort, and two, we want to love our teammates. But really, when you think about it, it comes down to really the last thing there, and that's this idea of love. Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians, he says, be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be men of courage, be strong, do everything in love. And so what does it look like to apply this verse to the game of basketball? Of course, you can say, I love the game of basketball, and I do love the game of basketball. I think it's the greatest game that's ever been invented. I love that it's fast-paced, that you don't have time to dwell on your past mistakes or your past successes, that you're forced to move on to the next play. I love that it's a small group of guys that come together for one common goal. I love that it's a game of vulnerability, where the crowd is right there at courtside, where you're not wearing a pads or a face mask, that your mistakes and your successes are plainly visible for everyone who's in the gym. Basketball is an amazing game, and it's taken me all over the world, and I do love the game of basketball. But more importantly, when thinking about how you use love as a primary motivator in the game of basketball, is the idea of loving your teammates. And I'm not talking about the kind of love you see in movies. I'm talking about the kind of love that is self-sacrificing and puts the agenda and the purpose and the goals of the team ahead of your own personal, individual agendas and goals. This is very, very difficult in our culture today. But if you can create a culture of love on your team, there'll be amazing things that will be accomplished. It's not unusual for a team that has far less talent to beat a team that has great talent just because the less talented team genuinely loves each other. I'm reminded of a couple of guys that have played for us at FRA over the past few years. One's a guy named Harrison that as a senior last year, one of the oldest boys on the team, he took it upon himself to love and serve his teammates by carrying the dirty uniforms out of the locker room every night and by carrying the water bottles to and from the gym every night. He purposely chose to love his teammates in that way, and it had a tremendous impact on our team. Before I became a coach, I played basketball for a long time, in grade school, in college, even professionally for a couple of years overseas, and there were times that I was motivated out of hate and anger. Something would happen in a game or practice, and I would get mad, and it would motivate me to give a great effort for a short period of time. And this would be effective. But the thing about playing out of hate and anger is that it never lasts, and it doesn't have the impact on your teammates that it needs to. The greatest success comes when you play with love as your primary motivator. I love watching the NBA. I love seeing guys compete so hard against each other and then give a hug after the game. It's this genuine love and respect they have for each other that has nothing to do with competitiveness, nothing to do with trying to win the game, but it's still love as a motivation. The great thing about the game of basketball is that it's great training for life. And when you can live with love as your primary motivator, you're going to be much more content and happy in your life, and you're going to have a much greater impact on those around you. I hope you guys can continue in your love for the game of basketball, and I hope you can look for ways to love and serve your teammates as you continue in this great game. Thank you.